Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, everything around this market. Because right now, we just saw a wick to a new all-time high on Bitcoin, over $70,000. Yes, we are rejecting a little bit around that level, but the number one thing that I am focused on when it comes to Bitcoin is the fact that, yes, we did technically achieve a new all-time high. Now, what we are focused on is the weekly candle close. Guys, this Sunday is going to be very, very important to watch. Probably going to be a very volatile day as well, considering the fact that what we are watching is a weekly candle close over $65,630. This will be a big moment for Bitcoin, and it will be a big moment for the entire crypto market. When we go and look at the monthly, right, this is what I've been focused on. So the monthly candle body is here on where we closed at back in October and even November of 2021. $61,460. At the end of March, we should have a confirmation of a complete breakout on all major macro charts, aka the weekly and even the monthly charts. Right now, the weekly has been doing very, very good. I'm watching to see if we do finally get that candle body closed this week. We should, technically, but we still need to be patient. We still need to be very, very cautious, especially considering the fact that we are now at this point in time with Bitcoin where we could have very, very volatile days and wicks to the downside, which do present us with incredible buy opportunities in the long-term span of this bull cycle. But regardless, why are we watching Bitcoin so heavily? And you probably even noticed the thumbnail, how we have the arrow pointing over to the altcoins. It's because now is not the time to be focused on Bitcoin. It's time to focus on altcoins, because now that we technically achieved this new all-time high, we still need to go into price discovery and we still need to watch Bitcoin go on a major move from here to the upside. But regardless, what we are watching for next is altcoins, because what is Bitcoin going to do for us now? A 2x, maybe even a 3x return? Yeah, we're not here for that. In fact, I've been focused on this fully, and I even said over on X just yesterday, and I included this in a video recently, I said the fun is just beginning, and it really is, right? All-time highs on Bitcoin is when euphoria starts. That is when everyone starts getting euphoric. The retail herd is coming back. They're going to be buying up everything. And by the way, the retail sector has technically been here. They've been buying Bitcoin ETFs, though. I said once this happens, every single mainstream media source will be pushing the narrative, which we are already kind of starting to see. They're talking about $100,000 Bitcoin, possibly even a $250,000 Bitcoin. I saw a few calls for a $500,000, possibly even a $1 million Bitcoin, but let's be honest, that's not going to happen. But I said right now, the number one thing that has been everywhere is the ETFs. This is why you need to avoid that. You need to focus on altcoins, because don't get trapped into the idea of, oh, Bitcoin's going to continue higher and make me rich. It's not. The time to get rich off of Bitcoin was, 3 cycles ago, for an example. But now is the time to focus on altcoins, because altcoins are about to have a tremendous move in the overall market. And we are going to be talking about that. So let's dive in. So I put out a post yesterday as well, and it was mainly addressing how I believe that this is the year where millionaires will be made by many projects, including, of course, these altcoins I do have on the list. Now, yes, some of these altcoins you won't become a millionaire off of unless you are holding a lot, but there is a ton of other great opportunities in the space to become extremely wealthy, and this market will present you with those opportunities all the time. I said all it really takes to get there is being patient, emotionless, and actually realizing profits when they are there. Take profits, get your initial investment out, and keep a moon bag. And yes, I could not stress that enough to everyone. Right now, as we really look at altcoins, right, on the 24-hour span, we still have meme coins pumping heavy, but I do believe that it's almost time to watch a lot of the main projects in the space starting to wake up in a heavy way. And a lot of them are fully focused around AI. In fact, the graph, GRT. So this is one that I have been talking about on the channel for a little bit of time. I've mentioned it multiple times, mentioned it heavily in the Discord. This has been one that's been called on the Patreon under 10 cents. We are now almost at 40 cents. This has been a big winner. It's been one that I've been fully focused on, like I've said, for a very long time. Personally love it around the Web3 space. It was a huge winner back in 2021. In fact, it was one of my biggest winners back in 2021, and I do think that it is going to perform very well this time around as well, and so far it has been doing very good. Filecoin's also another one, under $5. We were talking about Filecoin, and it's been doing very good. And there's so many other altcoins that are now starting to wake up, and I'm very excited about this. Obviously, the AI narrative is huge right now. Gaming is huge. There's been so much happening around a lot of those sectors, but even if we look at what's trending right now on the 24-hour span, it's still meme coins. Meme coins are still going absolutely crazy. Don't fall into the trap of FOMOing in to a lot of these meme coins at all-time highs, because that's when usually you'll get dumped on. But just be cautious with that. Regardless of the meme coin craze, what I'm really focused on right now is the altcoins that are moving very well, the categories that they are in, and then I could check out some of those categories and do a little bit of research on some that have not moved heavily just yet, and that's where I really want to focus on putting some of my money. But I do think that very soon, everyone will realize how big this alt season will become, because right now, as we really look at Bitcoin, there's still a lot of institutional focus on Bitcoin. There's a lot of, noise around the ETFs. But what happens with altcoins? Well, I've been focused on the total 2 and also focused on the total 3. Now, if we look at the total 2, this is just excluding Bitcoin. This does include, of course, Ethereum. We are getting very close. So we have the 618, the 702, and the 786 labeled on the chart. And you can actually see what happened the last couple times that we did try to retest a few of these levels. For an example, back in November of 2023, so just recently, this is where we started to kind of try retesting this level, and we rejected a little bit. It wasn't too crazy. We just kind of trailed sideways a little bit before we eventually broke above it. You could also see here that we trailed in this range as well before, again, breaking up to the upside to the 786. And then when we finally broke the 786, that's when we got these major candles to the upside. Now, what I'm watching for is, do we get that same exact traction here on the total 2, where we kind of trail sideways a little bit before breaking up to the 702. Then we reject a little bit, range here, then get another move to the 786, range a little bit more, and then we get that big monstrous move like we saw right here, and then we get to that $1.7 trillion level, which is the all-time high from 2021. Or do we get something where we have a rejection at the 618? Because this is still a possibility. We could have a strong rejection here where we come back down, range sideways, then we try to retest this again, range a little bit, and then we get that big move to the upside, and kind of repeat exactly what I have on the chart there. Either scenario is still telling us that we are about to have a very big move on the altcoin market. We are at significant levels, though, where I would be a little bit cautious, because sell-offs can happen. It's normal, it's healthy, especially when we look at this chart right on the weekly, and we can see that from the bottom down here to this top of this candle, we're already up 70%, and it's been not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 6 weekly candles in a row that are full green. But like I said, with Bitcoin tapping a new all-time high, we're still focused on Bitcoin at this current moment in time, simply for, candle closes and confirmations of price discovery and going parabolic to the upside of possibly, 80,000, 100,000, possibly even 150,000, because that is going to prove that altcoins are going to follow that move violently, and that's where you want to really be positioned in altcoins. Obviously, we are also focused on Bitcoin dominance, because this is one that I've been watching. So far, we've been rejecting, right? We had this nice move to the upside on this weekly candle, but as you guys do see, we came back down into this range, and I'm watching to see if this just kind of continues going sideways while Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, or we kind of lose this range and we just fall, which is when still Bitcoin is making that new all-time high, which technically, like I said, we already did, but it continues into price discovery and continues going to the upside while this is falling. That would be alt season confirmed, and that's where you really want to be focused on altcoins and in some very strong positions in the altcoin market. But when we look at the total 3, excluding Ethereum, this one is up, not a crazy amount like the total 2, but it is still right around 50%, right? So it's been down about roughly 20% versus that chart. So we still have a little bit of a movement on this chart that could happen. Regardless, the same thing goes with this chart. We have the 618, we have the 702, and the 786. And the same goes for these ones up here. That's where you want to be a little bit cautious. That's where you kind of want to focus on what's happening around the market. Are we in oversold territory? What's going on? Are we about to have a pullback? Because that means that there's probably going to be a pullback if we are expecting it. And to have some stable coins on the sidelines. It doesn't mean, hey, let me exit all my positions. I would not exit any of my altcoin positions until we're up in this range up here, which is right around 1.66 trillion to about $2.5 trillion. This up here is when I'm going to start offloading some of my bags, not fully, but taking clips out. I've already taken some profits on some of my investments because they've already hit like a 5x possibly, depending on, of course, which one, like I said. But right now, I'm focused on where we're going to go from here. Are we going to range against this and then break? Like I said, repeating the same move from the 70 or the total 2 over here where we broke above the 618, the 702, and then the 786. Or are we going to have a rejection? And are we going to back test? The main thing that I've been watching for is the trend line, right, to the upside. So this one has been following this trend for a little bit of time. We've been kind of back testing it. And let me just show you guys real quick. So this is what I've been mainly focused on. So like I said, on this chart, are we going to have something where, we're kind of just trailing to the upside, and then we get that back test, and then we continue to trail to the upside? That would be welcomed in, and that could even happen on the total 2 as well. But so far, we've been trailing on this, holding the trend line. The thing that I really want to watch is a loss of this. If we get a loss of this upper trend line, that is where things get a little bit more cautious. That's where we focus on backtesting 610 billion, 539 billion, or possibly even $467 billion. Me personally, I would be more so welcomed with the idea of backtesting 610 billion or possibly even 539 billion. I would not want us to backtest that $467 billion level because that is a floor that we already built back in December all the way leading in to February. So I would love for us to not backtest that, continue with making higher lows and then also higher highs eventually after that. But Google Trends is what I've been fully focused on as well outside of all of this. And that is telling us that, guess what? The herd has been looking up crypto. They've been looking up Bitcoin. They've been looking up altcoins. And how do we know that? Well, here we have crypto. So crypto is now back to the levels around roughly April of 2021, which is very interesting. Bitcoin is at levels that we were seeing back in December, January of 2021. But what about altcoins? Well, guess what? The herd loves altcoins right now. This has been going parabolic for a bit of time. And let me get this off the screen. I don't know why this is doing that, but let me just refresh it. So here we have altcoins going pretty parabolic in terms of Google Trends. I mean, we are now at levels that we haven't saw since going all the way back to around February of 2021. So like I said, when we look at altcoins right now, I do think that the altcoin market is where all of the money will be made over the course of the next couple of weeks and even months ahead. We have been so far front running the Bitcoin halving and a lot of those narratives, which we were saying that back in 2023. And you can go back and watch some of those videos where we were addressing that. And so far, things have been very, very good. And they've been aligning perfectly. Now, what we really want to watch for is Bitcoin dominance. Are we going to have this big break to the upside and breaking this macro trend line all the way back to the 2021 highs? Or are we going to lose this trend line on the bottom and then break down while altcoins go crazy parabolic while Bitcoin is making new all-time highs and going into price discovery, hitting 80,000, 100,000, you name it. Because if that's the case, buckle up, because alts are about to go crazy. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because I'm a free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.